Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Do you ever wonder how much time you truly have left once you pass 70? Every year, every moment becomes more precious, doesn't it? You may feel as if you're moving through life just fine, or maybe you're noticing that things aren't quite as easy as they used to be. Maybe you used to get up from a chair without thinking, and now it takes a little more effort. Maybe your morning walk used to be a joy, but lately you've been cutting it short. Or perhaps you've noticed that you don't bounce back from small illnesses as quickly as you used to. These little changes creep in slowly, but they matter more than you might think. The truth is, your body is already giving you signals about how long you may live. Some people in their 70s remain active, sharp, and full of vitality, while others find themselves slowing down, facing fatigue and health issues. The difference often comes down to a few key indicators, subtle yet powerful signs that give you a glimpse into your future. These signs don't just appear overnight. They build over time like ripples in a pond, and by the time you truly notice them, they may already be shaping the years ahead. But here's the good news: you have more control over these signs than you might think. Now, this isn't speculation. These aren't old wives' tales. These are real research-backed patterns that doctors and scientists have observed in those who live long, healthy lives. And today we're going to talk about those signs, what they are, how they affect your longevity, and most importantly, what you can do to extend your years and improve your quality of life. Imagine for a moment that your body is like a house. Over time, small cracks can form in the walls, the foundation might shift slightly, and the roof may need reinforcement. If you ignore these things, the house weakens. But if you pay attention, if you take care of it, it can stand strong for many, many years. Your body works the same way. So listen closely, because the smallest details might just be the most important ones. By the time we're done, you'll have a clearer idea of where you stand and what steps you can take to give yourself the best possible future. If you've ever wondered whether your best years are behind you or still ahead, this is for you. The choices you make now will shape the years to come, and you deserve to make them with confidence. Now let's begin. Before we dive in, I'd truly appreciate it if you hit the like button. It helps spread these valuable life lessons. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on future videos. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment 1 if you're enjoying this video, or 0 if you think there's room for improvement. Your feedback helps me create even better content for you. One of the strongest indicators of how long you may live has nothing to do with your medical records or even your diet. It's something much simpler: how fast you walk. That's right, your walking speed is a direct reflection of your overall health. You might not think about it much, but the way you move through the world says a lot about the state of your body. Think of two men, George and Henry, both 75 years old. George walks every morning at a steady pace, he moves with confidence, and he doesn't struggle to cross the street or climb stairs. Henry, on the other hand, used to be active but has slowed down considerably in recent years. He takes frequent breaks, struggles to keep up with others, and sometimes feels unsteady on his feet. What's happening here? George's steady pace suggests his muscles, heart, and brain are still functioning well. Henry's slowing speed, however, is a sign of something deeper: muscle weakness, poor circulation, maybe even early neurological decline. It's not just about getting from one place to another, it's about what's happening beneath the surface. The body works as a system, and when one part starts to slow down, others often follow. The good news: you can improve this. Walking more, doing light leg exercises, and keeping your body moving all help keep you strong. If you've noticed yourself slowing down, don't ignore it, start working on it today, because how fast you move through life literally can tell you a lot about how long you'll keep moving at all. But here's something else to think about: walking speed isn't just about longevity, it's about independence. When you can walk confidently, you're more likely to stay engaged with the world. You're more likely to visit friends, run errands, and enjoy your surroundings. But when walking becomes difficult, people start to withdraw, they go out less, they sit more, and before they realize it, their world has become much smaller. That's why maintaining your walking speed is so crucial. It's not just about adding years to your life. It's about making sure those years are full of experiences, connections, and joy. So take a moment right now, ask yourself, how fast do you walk? How steady do you feel on your feet? If you've noticed a change, don't wait until it gets worse. Take action today, because the more you move, the longer and better you'll live. Now let's talk about something else you might not think about much: your grip strength. Believe it or not, how firmly you can shake someone's hand or open a jar is one of the clearest indicators of longevity. And yet, most people don't realize just how important their hands are until they start struggling to do the things they've always done. Let me tell you about Thomas and Walter, both 78. Thomas has always had a firm handshake, no trouble carrying groceries, and still handles tools easily. Walter, however, has started noticing that simple tasks like twisting the cap off a bottle have become harder. At first, he laughed it off. "Ah, just getting older," he said, but then he noticed it wasn't just the bottles, it was holding onto a suitcase, it was gripping the handrail when stepping down a curb. It was carrying his grandson without feeling like his hands might give out. What Walter doesn't realize is that his weakening grip is more than just an annoyance. It's a sign of muscle loss, which can lead to frailty, a higher risk of falls, and even shorter life expectancy. Your grip is more than just your hands, it's your whole body. If your grip is weak, chances are so are your arms, your legs, your core. And when those things weaken, everyday tasks start to feel harder. But there's hope. You can rebuild strength in your hands and arms with simple exercises, squeezing a tennis ball using hand grippers, or even just carrying light weights. And here's something to remember: your grip strength is like a message from your body. When it's strong, it tells you that your muscles are working well. When it's weak, it's a warning sign. The good news: you can do something about it. Because if you lose strength in your hands, chances are you're losing it elsewhere too. And the stronger your grip, the stronger your ability to hold on, not just to objects but to life itself. Think about all the things you do with your hands: cooking, writing, turning the pages of a book, holding on to the people you love. Your hands connect you to the world in a way that nothing else does, so don't take them for granted. Keep them strong, keep them working, and they will serve you well for years to come. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Now let me ask you a question. Can you stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds without holding on to anything? Your ability to balance is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. It's not just about avoiding falls, it's about overall coordination, muscle strength, and brain health. When balance begins to decline, it often signals deeper issues: weakening muscles, reduced reaction time, and even changes in cognitive function. Think of Mary and Helen, both 72. Mary stays active, does light yoga, and when she lifts one foot off the ground, she can stay steady. Helen, however, finds herself wobbling, needing to grab onto something. What Helen doesn't realize is that her loss of balance isn't just about aging. It's a warning sign that her coordination and nervous system may be declining. The body works as one connected system. When balance fades, it means multiple areas, muscles, joints, vision, and even the brain aren't working together as well as they used to. Falls become more common, and with every fall, the risk of injury increases. A broken hip, a fractured wrist, even a minor fall can start a downward spiral that's hard to recover from. But here's the good news: balance can be improved. Simple exercises like standing on one foot a few times a day, walking heel to toe, or practicing gentle movements like Tai Chi can make a world of difference. You don't need fancy equipment. Just a few minutes a day spent intentionally working on stability can keep you strong and steady. Let me tell you about Henry, who is 80 years old. A few years ago, he noticed he was getting unsteady. He stumbled while getting out of bed, nearly lost his footing when stepping onto a curb, and felt like he had to grab the railing more often when going up the stairs. Instead of ignoring it, Henry started practicing standing on one leg every morning while brushing his teeth. He made it a habit to stand up from a chair without using his hands, just to keep his legs strong. A few months later, he noticed the difference. He felt steadier, more in control. So try this: stand up, lift one foot, and see how long you can hold it. If you struggle, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Work on it now before it becomes a problem. Because good balance isn't just about avoiding a fall, it's about keeping your independence, your confidence, and your ability to move freely in the years ahead. Now let's talk about something we all love: sleep. But it's not just about feeling rested. Your sleep patterns are a major indicator of longevity. Poor sleep doesn't just make you feel tired, it affects everything: your memory, your immune system, your heart, even how long you live. Meet Harold and Bill, both 74. Harold has a steady bedtime, sleeps around 7 hours a night, and wakes up feeling refreshed. Bill, on the other hand, tosses and turns, wakes up frequently, and often feels exhausted even after a full night in bed. Over time, Bill's body starts showing signs of where his energy drops, his memory falters, and his heart health declines. Poor sleep can be linked to high blood pressure, cognitive decline, and even a weakened immune system. But here's the thing: sleep problems don't just show up overnight. They creep in over time. One bad night turns into a pattern. That pattern turns into years of poor rest, and before you know it, your health is paying the price. The good news: you can improve sleep quality. Reduce screen time before bed, keep a consistent sleep schedule, and avoid heavy meals late at night. But more importantly, take sleep seriously. If you wake up tired, if you feel groggy all day, if you find yourself dozing off in the afternoon, don't just brush it off as getting older. It could be your body telling you something isn't right. Think about Alina, 77 years old. She never thought much about her sleep. She figured it was normal to wake up multiple times a night to feel sluggish in the morning. But when she started taking her sleep more seriously, going to bed at the same time every night, avoiding caffeine late in the day, and making sure her bedroom was dark and cool, everything changed. Her energy improved, her memory sharpened, and for the first time in years, she woke up feeling refreshed. Because how well you sleep today determines how strong you stay in the years to come. A good night's rest isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And the better you sleep, the better you live. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below. Food is fuel, and how you eat after 70 can shape the years ahead. If you've noticed a decline in your appetite, it could be more than just a phase. It could be a sign that your body isn't absorbing nutrients properly. Margaret and Susan, both 74, have different approaches. Margaret enjoys her meals, eats a balanced diet, and maintains a steady weight. Susan, however, has lost interest in food, skips meals, and has lost weight without trying. Susan may not realize it, but this is a red flag. Poor appetite can lead to muscle loss, a weakened immune system, and even cognitive decline. When you don't eat enough, your body starts breaking down muscle for energy. And once you lose muscle, it's harder to get it back. That's why so many older adults find themselves feeling weaker, more fatigued, and struggling with everyday tasks. The solution: stay mindful of your eating habits, focus on nutrient-dense foods, and ensure you're getting enough protein, fiber, and healthy fats. But beyond that, find joy in food again. Cook meals you love, eat with family and friends, keep snacks on hand if big meals feel overwhelming. Because eating well isn't just about nutrition, it's about keeping your body strong and your life full of energy. Think about Roger, who's 80 years old. A few years ago, he lost interest in eating. He thought it was normal, he just wasn't as hungry anymore. But then he started feeling weaker. His doctor told him he was losing muscle mass, so Roger made a change. He started eating smaller meals more often. He focused on foods high in protein: eggs, chicken, beans. Within months, he felt stronger, his energy came back, and most importantly, he stopped feeling like he was fatting. So ask yourself, are you eating enough? Are you giving your body what it needs to stay strong? Because the way you eat today has a direct impact on how strong and independent you'll be in the years ahead. Let's talk about stress. We all have it, but how we deal with it is what really matters. Chronic stress doesn't just affect your mood, it weakens your immune system, raises your risk of heart disease, and even accelerates aging. When stress becomes a constant part of your life, it wears you down in ways you might not even realize. It's like a slow leak in a tire. At first, it's manageable, but if you ignore it, you'll eventually find yourself stranded. John and Richard, both 76, face challenges like everyone else. But John has learned to manage stress. He takes deep breaths, spends time with loved ones, and focuses on solutions. Richard, however, holds on to his worries, constantly feeling overwhelmed. His mind is always racing, thinking about things he can't control, and he carries his stress in his body: tight shoulders, restless sleep, and an uneasy stomach. Over time, stress wears Richard down. His blood pressure rises, his energy plummets, and his health declines. He doesn't see it happening day by day, but the effects build up like layers of dust settling on furniture, and before he knows it, his body is paying the price. But stress can be managed. It's not about eliminating all problems, it's about learning how to handle them. Mindfulness, exercise, deep breathing, and even laughter can add years to your life. You don't need to meditate on a mountain for hours. Just small habits like taking a deep breath before reacting or going for a walk when you feel overwhelmed can make a big difference. Take Ellen, for example. She's 80 years old and has lived through more challenges than she can count: loss, financial struggles, health scares. But through it all, she's learned not to let stress control her. She practices gratitude, she makes time for hobbies, and she refuses to dwell on things she can't change. And that's why at 80, she's still full of life, still engaged with the world, still moving forward. So ask yourself, how do you handle stress? Do you let it pile up, or do you find ways to release it? Because your ability to stay calm, to adapt, to focus on what you can control isn't just good for your mind, it's a key factor in how well and how long you live. So my friends, now that you know these key signs, take a moment to reflect. Are you strong, steady, and moving through life with confidence? Or have you noticed subtle changes, things that might seem small now but could be warning signs of what's to come? The best part: most of these things, your walking speed, grip strength, balance, sleep, eating habits, stress levels, can be improved with simple changes. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need to train like an athlete or follow a strict diet. Small, consistent improvements are what make the biggest difference. Think of it like tending a garden. If you plant seeds and take care of them, they grow strong and healthy, but if you neglect them, they wither. Your body is no different. The choices you make today, whether you go for that walk, whether you get enough rest, whether you take time to connect with others, are like seeds for your future health. Your future isn't written in stone. The choices you make today shape the years ahead. Take Joseph, who turned 85 last month. A decade ago, he realized he was slowing down. Instead of resigning himself to it, he made a decision. He would start moving more, eating better, staying engaged. Now at 85, he's still independent, still active, still living life on his terms. That could be you too. So keep moving, stay strong, sleep well, eat right, and cherish your connections. Because life isn't just about adding years, it's about making those years count. It's about waking up every morning with energy, with purpose, with the ability to do the things you love. And remember this: the best time to make a change was yesterday. The second best time, today, so start now. Your future self will thank you. Thank you for listening. Stay well, and may your years ahead be full of life and health.